Hello viewers and welcome to Student Section from Route Initiative International. My name is Azariah and in today's video I will be showing you how to use the Cisco Packet Tracer to change your host name, set a password encryption, and after that we save the configuration so that we don't lose it in future. Okay, so without much ado, let's get to the lab and get started. Okay, first of all, we need to select our router that we'll be configuring today. So I normally choose the 2911 router, place it at the middle, and let's click on the router and select CLI. But first, I want to explain what a CLI is. A CLI simply stands for Command Line Interface. This is the interface we use to configure Cisco devices like switches, routers, and firewall. So when I start my CLI, you are being asked a configuration dialog. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Mostly I choose no. Okay, so in this particular mode, which we see here is the router and a greater than sign, is termed as the user exact mode. So in this mode we can't actually do any changes to the configuration. To do some changes to the configuration, we need to be in global configuration mode. But before we move to that, I would like to explain each step by step so that we don't get lost when configuring our router. So from the privilege exact mode, we have to hit the command enable to move from user exact mode to privilege exact mode. Now in this mode, you can see the greater than has now been changed to hash symbol. So in this mode is termed as the privilege exact mode, and we are able to see all the configuration done on the router. So when I hit show run, which is the short form of show running configuration or show run config. So when I use the short term show run and I hit enter, we should be able to see all the configuration which was a default settings on the router. So as you can see here, the host name still remains router, but we'll change that in a few times. Now there's no password or any password encryption enabled on this router, so we only see this here. So to configure a password or change the host name, we first have to move from privilege exact mode to global config, and the command is configure terminal. Now we are in global configuration mode. Now let's change the host name. So the command is host name space, and you type in the host name you like to choose or your preferred host name you want. I will use R1 and I hit enter. So as you see, once I hit the enter command, it changes the username to the preferred username I wanted to use, which was R1. So now let's enable a password. This is the kind of password which hasn't been encrypted, so it's easily to be cracked by an attacker. Okay, so this is the password I enabled, but I don't normally use this enable password because it can easily be cracked by an attacker. So to enable a secret password or an encryption password, I have to type in enable secret, which I only know the password I'm going to use. So here I'll use Cisco, but when you run the configuration, you wouldn't see the password Cisco. It will be in an encryption form, which will be very hard to crack. So now we've done the configuration, we've changed the username, enabled the password. Now let's exit from global configuration to privilege exact mode so that we can save our configuration we just did. Now we are here, so let's save. You can use this command, which is write or copy run start, which will copy the running configuration to the setup configuration. Confirm the destination file name, which is setup configuration. Confirm. So now our configuration has been saved. Now let's look at the work we just did, or the configuration we just did, and the command is show run. Now earlier in the previous video I showed you that the router wasn't configured, so it remained router, but since we've now configured and changed the router to R1, it has shown here in the running config. And then the earlier password we enabled, which was the CCNA that I told you it wasn't encrypted, has also been shown here. You see the password I put, which is the CCNA. So with this, an attacker can easily crack my password and steal whatever information I have kept on the router. But when I enable the secret password, you see it appears in an encryption form, which is very hard for a cracker or an attacker to steal my information. So this is today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.